Hi, I'm Cristina Smith, creator along with my ever brilliant brother, puzzle master Rick Smith of the Yoga for the Brain series of profound philosophy and fun, and even more fun puzzle books with secret messages. We are celebrating the release of our fifth book in the Yoga for the Brain series, Inspired Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain, featuring 60 contributing authors. We're celebrating by hanging out with a few of them and getting to know them a little bit. And today we have with us the author of puzzle number 52, The Power of Love, Dr. Wendy Mears-Kaveney. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I live in San Diego. I've lived here most of my life, and I come from the corporate world, and now I'm the founder and director of operations for Soul Charter School. So I'm in the education arena. My passion and purpose on the planet that has led me to this moment is to eradicate fear and anger from our children and restore them to their uniqueness. And I get to live that out on a daily basis at Soul Charter School.
Wow.
Soon to be Integra Schools. So
wow.
exciting news coming soon.
Well, you have soul and integration. That's pretty good for an education, right?
You bet.
You are also a doctor, and we kind of have fun calling you the other kind of love doctor because you work with the center of love, and that's one way you bring people back to their uniqueness. And you talk about it in your puzzle, The Power of Love. Could you talk a little bit about, well, why not just the power of love?
Great, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And yeah, so my whole life has been about, like I'd mentioned, about the fear and anger and restoring them to the uniqueness. And part of that is recognizing that we are love. We are born into it. It's who we are. It's the truth of everything, and it's all that matters. And so the power of love within these, I am the National Director of Center of Loves in the United States. And we get back in touch with who we are. And I think one of the biggest areas that I like to clear up is love is who we are. It's the truth of our being. It's in our DNA. It's everything is a spiritual being having a human experience. And it's not something that's brought to us. Therefore, when we feel that electrifying feeling, whatever it is, for love for another or for an experience or for chocolate, it's not something that when that person or experience or object goes away is taken from us, because it's just been activated within us. And so if we can look at it from that perspective, I think the world will be in a much better place, recognizing that I need to bless you on your way. If we somehow have had a disruption in our relationship and we are no longer in, I'm just going to use an intimate relationship, and we're no longer together, that I need to bless them on their way, simply saying, thank you for activating that love within me, because it's in that union of the love that we felt for each other that we are twice as powerful. And so the power of love is where it's the womb of all creation. It is the absolute greatest place to manifest from. And if you think about it, that kind of comes down to the woman's womb and the sacred womb that creates all the children. We've all come from the womb of a female.
So what advice would you give to someone who's really not feeling the love? They don't feel loved. They feel kind of useless and kind of depressed. And they feel like, what's the point? Nobody loves me. I might as well eat worms and die, like the old kids song. Right. What advice would you give to them?
Well, I think first of all is for them to recognize anytime they've ever felt happy, because we can always exchange that, and maybe in that moment, everything feels hopeless and they're depressed and they can't see anything that's of light. So just really getting in touch with something that's made them feel happy, joyful, because we equate that to the love energy. if we can get into it could be just the fact that I have a roof over my head. I have dishes to wash, things to that, just any little thing to move us from the despair that we're feeling into a place of joy or happiness. Then we can start to recognize that the love is within. It's not something that was ever without. I don't know if that answers your question the best.
Sure. So you also talk about in your puzzle about taking the shackles off of love. What do you mean?
Well, I think it's interesting because when you're out with the general population, and I'll just give you for instance, so being at the grocery store and picking up groceries and noticing that this young man that is doing the checkout has absolutely beautiful eyes that shine so brightly. I'm not worried, not thinking about the color, just looking at the light that is emanating from his eyes and saying so. Instead of going into my mind, stepping into my heart and really feeling that and sharing that with him to potentially lift his day, but more importantly is to take the shackles off of the love that I'm feeling in that moment, because it's brought me happiness. It has brought me joy to see the light and the beauty in another. And so saying it versus going into my head saying, okay, so you're over 50 and, what are you, this younger boy, what's he going to think? She's hitting on me, blah, blah, blah. And all those things that we do to ourselves. Instead, just take the shackles off and feel how it is you're feeling. And when you recognize love, creative, beauty, intelligence, sharing that. And that's actually stepping into the removal of shackles of our love.
So allowing yourself to have your love be what it is without judgment, self-judgment particularly. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And there are so many definitions of love. And the working definition that I use is from Brother Ishmael Tete. He's an African mystic. And his working definition that I've embodied is looking for the good and the divine in myself, in another, and in all of life. And so when I feel good, I feel love. When I see good, I feel love. I see love.
Would you repeat Brother Ishmael's line one more time, just so we can hear it one more time, please?
Yes. Is love's definition is seeing the good, the divine in myself, in others, and in all of life.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
So it is.
Yes, yes.
So, Dr. Wendy, what kind of puzzles do you like to do?
Well, I love word searches. They're all fun. I have my own little strategy. I'm sure many people do. I love Sudoku. I also like jigsaw puzzles. I think any kind of brain teaser that is going to keep my brain activated, as well as anything inspiring. So this kind of hits on all points.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Dr. Wendy, for being with us. And you can read The Power of Love and 60 other fabulous puzzles in Inspired Wisdom Word Search Yoga for the Brain, which you can pick up at a bookstore by asking for it by name, Amazon.com, Target.com, and BarnesandNoble.com. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.